Welcome to Epic Geek Out, the only show on the internet that never needs any more cowbell. I'm your host, Rob.
And I'm your host, Chad, and we have a fun week for you today. We're talking about the new film, Seven Psychopaths.
And on Thursday, we're going to be talking about CW's new show, Arrow.
As always, you can check us out on Twitter at Epic Geek Out. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you'll get all the new episodes when they come out.
Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/epicgeekout. Also check out the website, www.epicgeekout.com. Let's get into our review of Seven Psychopaths. So Seven Psychopaths stars Colin Farrell, Sam Rockwell, Christopher Walken, and Woody Harrelson. It's a tale about a writer who gets mixed up in this crazy kind of world. Has a couple. Well, his friend is Colin Farrell's friend, Sam Rockwell, is in the dog napping business. Basically steals dogs, then brings them back and accepts the reward. And he steals the wrong dog of a mobster played by Woody Harrelson. Then it kind of turns into another movie after that. He's writing a screenplay and adapting kind of some things that happened to him into it and different characters, and very odd from there, I would say, without getting into it. But Chad, what did you think of the movie?
I was looking forward to this. It looked very funny coming off the trailers,
and received
which is impressive.
Really good
good reviews
too,
as well. And very hard to review and very strange movie. It wasn't bad, but I didn't love it either.
Now, before you get into it, what are the spoilers here? Like, are there spoilers? I mean, let's just talk about it, because I don't know what you even consider a spoiler for this movie.
All I knew about it going into it was that it was about the dog napping thing. I didn't know the screenwriter part of it, but that's not really a spoiler because it's established in the first 2 minutes of the movie. I mean, I don't know if there really are spoilers. That's the thing, is like, I feel like it was a movie.
It was a movie. It was a movie. It was a movie.
Established that. It was a movie that made me feel stupid because I didn't get it, but I don't know that there was really anything to get throughout it. So, I mean, maybe I missed a huge part of this movie, and I very well could have, but for what I took from it, which I don't want to spoil really, I guess that's not really a spoiler, but it was just there, and I don't. It reminded me a lot of like Adaptation, which is a Nick Cage movie, which I enjoyed, where kind of the story that's going on in the story writing that this guy's doing, it kind of melds and blends into the actual story of the movie.
Sure.
But beyond that, which wasn't really like, there wasn't really like a big reveal for that, you know, kind of just blended throughout. Whereas other movies, it would kind of like, oh, the big reveal at the end is the story that he's writing is actually this story all along type of thing. It kind of just blended in at parts and then just got really strange at parts. And
then would cover a character that doesn't even exist. It only existed in his screenplay, things like that.
So I was kind of just waiting for this moment where I was like, that's what this movie's doing.
The nice little wrap up.
Yeah,
exactly. Which really didn't have that. Exactly. There was no wrap up. I mean,
exactly. So I just sat there feeling like I was stupid for not getting it. I didn't appreciate that because I don't want to feel stupid, you know. But I mean, the comedy in it was funny. Sam Rockwell delivers an incredible performance.
He's great
in it.
Fantastic.
Over the top, crazy. Christopher Walken, as always, is awesome.
Christopher Walken is perfect in that. Yeah.
One-liners and whatnot. But as a whole, I just was left feeling kind of like a little empty because I didn't really know what I was supposed to take from this. Didn't really know if I got it per se, but you know, it was something to see. I can't really give it. But
you did enjoy it, though.
I did enjoy it, but I didn't love it,
even though you're not sure where you ended up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I really. I didn't hate it, but I don't know. I didn't love it, and I don't know how much I enjoyed it either because like I said, I kept feeling like I'm missing something. So
yeah, I mean, I'm going to. I liked this movie. I did. It was a fun ride. I enjoyed the characters that were on the screen. You know, it certainly it takes reality and runs with it. It's certainly not based in reality. It's crazy at times, but it was an enjoyable ride. I did not take any moral point from this movie. There is no lasting. I mean, you know,
they're all immoral.
Yeah, we went to see the movie. I enjoyed it, but really, it's not going to stick with me. It reminded me a lot of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which I don't think you saw, but Robert Downey Jr. is, a writer, goes along with the cop, gets involved in, these crazy antics, good way to put it. And it just kind of reminded me of this movie, but this kind of took it a little further. There were some really funny, pretty violent too, really funny moments with even the use of violence in it, and just enjoyable. But I don't know, again, to second what you say, I don't know what we were supposed to take out of this movie. It was fun. I think it could have been a story done. It didn't have to be around like the dog napping thing. I mean, that was funny and it had its laughs for that, but it really could have just been anything. Another plot point could have been used to just spend time with these characters, which I think is just all they were going for. I enjoyed all the characters, even like the bad guys. They had their funny moments. And, Christopher Walken, it's just, you pay to go see the man because he's just great. The character is really funny. There were a couple of aha moments throughout it, like this character turns out to be this person, or things like that. And it's like, oh, that's cool. But there are no moments like that at the end. There's a little post-credits thing, which I completely knew was going to come back.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a funny part. It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't funny or really even like matter.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think they could have benefited from eliminating the story, like the screenplay writing storyline. Like if it was more just like it kind of reminded me like Snatch or like Lock, Stock, but more just like the gangster movie that those are, but just about dog napping. Could have been a lot more interesting and funny. Just kind of they go on this crazy adventure, which they kind of do, but then it goes in this weird area. It was just like this movie about their trip on this crazy dog caper thing. I mean, that could have been, I think, more succinct. Agreed. I guess.
And it was very self-aware. It very much talked about, like, there's one part in it where he's writing his movie and he has no strong female characters.
Right.
And, they get in this, kind of verbal fight, which was good. It was well written when they were sparring back and forth with words. But, and then, that was a reflection of the movie we were watching because the female characters were, -1. Christopher Walken's wife, I thought, was a strong female lead. And he was the one who was advocating for him too, which was good because, it kind of showed, that's what he was impressed by. It was very weird because, they mashed them together in a weird way, and it wasn't cohesive, really. But you saw what they were going for. They just didn't do it completely. Very odd. And
again, another movie that starts like labeling things, like Psychopath number 1, Psychopath number 2,
like that.
Skips 2 of the Psychopaths with 5 and 6, and just goes to 7 and 8 or 7. I mean,
just stick with it the whole time.
It's just lazy. I mean, come on. It's just, I don't know. It's a small thing, but
yeah. So I would say check this out if anything we said made sense and seems
it's hard
like
to
something.
Review. And I don't think it's. I don't think personally it's a rush out for movie theater to see.
No.
Maybe catch it on rental, but it's definitely. I think it's going to be.
Catch it on rental when you can pause and rewind and.
I think it's to be it's only going to target a small group of people that are actually really really enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
Because I mean we like these weird movies, but I mean it was even a little weird.
I really enjoyed the humor throughout of it. Like the action scenes weren't anything really. I mean they used a lot of gore, but there were no good action scenes. But there were moments where I really laughed in this movie.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't label it a comedy by any means. I don't think that was.
It's being marketed as a comedy for sure.
It is,
but it's not really.
It's certainly not your run-of-the-mill comedy. It's kind of, I was expecting a caper movie of being about that, and then with just some comedy elements thrown in. But it was more enjoyable as a comedy than anything else. So
it's something.
Yeah, it's a movie. That's all we got. It is a movie. It's that time of the episode where we like to give our thanks. So, Chad, what are you thankful for today?
Well, when you're watching this on Tuesday, the previous Sunday, which was last night for us,
agreed,
was the Walking Dead premiere. Really awesome. I mean, if you're not watching the show, watch it because, first of all, the first 2 seasons are on Netflix, so you can catch up. Highest rated ratings,
which
is
crazy.
Well, ratings on any show, broadcast or otherwise, this whole fall season.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did not know that.
Top off of basic.
Stop reading
cable.
the headlines of articles and read the actual.
It got. So, I mean, and I'm so excited because like now I'm like, okay, it's gonna fuel. They're gonna probably renew it for another season.
And we have a friend who just called up and just seeing someone who just watched everything again.
Oh yeah.
And their enthusiasm was great. Got us pumped. Carl's got a gun.
I know. It had its moment. Zombies. Yeah. I mean, it was a great episode. Probably one of my favorites of the show.
It was good to be back
because it was like
absolutely.
It was like a full hour of awesome. Everything was great. So Walking Dead, we love. If you're not watching it, you seriously have to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I could really just talk more about that, but I'll give another thanks. I watched recently a documentary on Netflix called Indie Game the Movie. Back in the day, I saw TRS. They did a review on it. One of the most interesting documentaries I've seen in a long time. I've been catching a lot of them on Netflix, which is one of the great reasons to get it. It followed the game designers, for Super Meat Boy, Fez, and what's the other one? I forget the other one. I'll give it to you to put it back there. Braid. Yeah, Braid. And everyone was so different that they followed, but what they put in to make these video games, everyone should see. Everyone should see.
Their lives, pretty much.
Their lives. Absolutely their lives. I mean, the one guy couldn't, he's like, I gave up all my social life for this. I can afford a meal for myself, but not really anyone else. And then they shatter these records. And it's just so interesting that they followed 3 games that were crazy successful and well reviewed and things like that. Just such a great look into a niche world that really I think people should watch. Even if you're not into those games or never played those games, it's just such an interesting look at these people who created it because they are all characters, and it's certainly worth a watch. So
cool. We'll be back on Thursday with another episode. We're going to be talking about Arrow, which is the DC adaptation for the show for CW. But be sure to check back for that. Thanks for watching.